Hi everybody, Brian here, back with what I picked up over the past 2 weeks or so, I think was my last video. We'll start with this. You might be saying that's just a power adapter, and you are correct. This is actually the Sega Trio M1. And what this is this will power your Sega CD, Sega Genesis, and Sega 32X all with one power adapter. So you don't need all three anymore. So here it is right here. You can see it's a smaller power brick. And on this end, you have one that goes to your Sega CD, Sega Genesis, and Sega 32X, all in one cord. So all three of these plug in to those systems, and then you only take up one power space. It's very, very good. You can get these on Retro Game Cave. I think they're about 22 bucks, something around there. But well worth it if you want to save two outlets. Go on to Super Nintendo. I finally found Death and Return of Superman, a beat-em-up game on the Super Nintendo, also on the Sega Genesis. Never seen it out in a while. I finally found it, and I've been trying to get on a real big beat-em-up kick lately on the Super Nintendo with Captain Commando and other games, and I'm trying to get all of the beat-em-ups on the Super Nintendo. I want to get the Combat Tribes next. So happy to have Death and Return of Superman. For the DS, I picked up for $5, Exit DS. I don't know much about this game. It says, as a professional escape artist, Mr. Escape, you must maneuver through burning buildings and sinking ships, dodging disasters and saving survivors along the way. So it was only $5, and I've been getting a lot of DS stuff lately. Also, for $6, I picked up Battalion Wars 2. I think this is a this is the sequel to Battalion Wars on the GameCube, which is also a spin-off of the Advanced Wars series, which is over here. It's called Advanced Wars. In Japan, it's called Advanced Wars 2, but there was also Famicom Wars on the Nintendo Famicom. So yeah, happy to have Battalion Wars 2. For $5, I picked up Gunblade LA and Gunblade New York and LA Machine Guns Arcade Hits Pack. It has two. It's published by Sega, I believe. It's based on two, I think, Sega light gun games in the arcade on one Wii disc. So happy to have more light gun games for the Wii. For $2.50, I picked up Wave Race Blue Storm Complete. I'm surprised I didn't have this. I really loved the first Wave Race on the N64. Still remember the title music in my head. Me and my friend had it when he got this N64. An early release game on the N64. I don't think it was a launch game. I'm not too sure, but I never played the one on the GameCube. I thought I had it, but I always get Wave Race and 1080 snowboarding. I know they're completely different, but it turned out the one I thought I did have was 1080 snowboarding. Not Wave Race Blue Storm. For $2.50, I picked up Secret Weapons Over Normandy. This I got because I really like the history of World War II and all that era of history. And this is made by LucasArts and the guys who did X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. It also came on the PC as well. It's basically a dogfighting game. You can play it with Messerschmitts, P-38 Lightning, and other World War II fighters. You see from the creators of the TIE Fighter and X-Wing series, it says right down there. I had the first Blinks. I picked up Blinks 2, Masters of Time and Space, a 3D platform game. Master System games. I love getting Master System games. This is Alex Kidd, The Lost Stars. It has everything but the manual. It does not have the manual in it. But happy to have another Master System game for my library. And I just love the Master System boxes. Picked up a book. It came out last week. That's the Console Wars. Sega Nintendo and the Battle That Defined a Generation. Very great book. I'm listening to it on audiobook. I wanted to support the author and also get the hardcover book. I don't buy a lot of actual books. My last one was Ready Player One, but this is a very good book. What this covers is basically told in the perspective of Tom Kalinske, the president of Sega America during the first half of the 1990s. He oversaw the Sega Genesis release, and also the creation of Sonic, not Mario, but Sonic the Hedgehog, and saw its release. And it basically tells how originally Sonic, one thing I found so far interesting was Sonic was originally supposed to be a very Japanese character, and Tom Kalinske and his team basically convinced Sega of Japan to revamp him into the Sonic that we know today. So basically it covers all that great time in the mid-90s growing up during that era, that time when the Genesis competed very well with with Nintendo in that whole area where in North America especially, Sega Genesis sold a lot of units and a lot of consoles, and not the exact amount was known how much they sold, but at one point they were the leader in the video game market. So very interesting book. I think it ends with the release of the Sega Saturn. For the GameCube, I picked up a complete... I've never played a DDR game, so I figured, hey, why not do a Mario DDR game? This is Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix. It's complete with the gamepad, and it says on the back, shake it to over 25 dance-flavored songs, from remixes of classic Nintendo themes to familiar favorites with 5 difficulty levels. Dancers of all abilities can get into the groove. The path to Mario's dance party is simple. Left, right, up, down, right, down. Turn Mushroom Mode on to finally experience the thrill of stomping Goombas and other enemies firsthand. There's more to Mario Mix than just dancing. Unlock extra songs and minigames in story mode, then play them over and over. So yeah, it's a Dance Dance Revolution game with Mario. And it includes everything in here, the pad, because I didn't have a dance pad, and the game itself, so happy to have this. Picked up some Gameboy games. Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle 3. There's actually a 4, and I think there's one that stars Woody Woodpecker, which is kind of interesting. Donkey Kong Land 3. I picked up Donkey Kong Land 2 maybe a few weeks ago. Happy to have Donkey Kong Land 3. I think for $5 at Hotel Dusk, it's like Room 215. It's like a visual novel, almost in the vein of Virtue's Last Reward, or 9 Persons, 999, 9 Persons, 9 Hours, 9 Doors, or I'm getting that confused, but happy to have that. For $2.50, I picked up Mr. Driller Drill Spirits. Scourge Hive. It's almost like a Metroid-style game. NES game. Always happy to find NES games that I don't have. And this is Artista's Ring. Artista's Ring. It's like a top-down overhead view adventure game. And a black box game for $2.50. Tennis. Some more Xbox games I got. I picked up Cold Fear. I think this came out after Resident Evil. It's very similar to it, where it's over-the-shoulder kind of perspective. Also came out on the PlayStation 2. Picked up Ninja Gaiden. I'm sorry, I always say Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden Black. Ninja Gaiden is one of my favorite Xbox game of all time, and probably my favorite game during that whole generation was the original Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox. This is basically the same game with some tweaked enemies, new enemies in different spots, and it has the downloadable pack, which had the Hurricane pack, which had new weapons and like tournaments you could set up, which was only available for Xbox Live. And which is the reason I got Xbox Live for the once and only time in my life. Back when it was brand new, back in 2004. I got it to download the Hurricane pack, and then I canceled. But that's the only thing I ever used Xbox Live for. I've never gotten it since. But I love Ninja Gaiden, and I think I want to play this again, because I haven't played it in a while, and I want to play it on black, so... Ninja Gaiden Black, I should say. Picked up, I have the first Suffering. This is the second one, The Suffering That Ties the Pine. And that is, I believe, everything I got for this past few weeks or so. Hope everybody has a great weekend. And if you're in North America or the United States, happy Memorial Day. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.